It's mid-March and SGC has two sales going on, one for TCG non-sports, the other $12 a card for modern NFL. So I've been up late the last 3 nights going through whatever I had trying to put something together. So let's look at the pre-grades and see what I'll be sending to SGC. Hey, how's it going, YouTube? It's Ian with Good Form Sports Cards. I'm back with another video here. Today is the front end of a couple of SGC submissions. I'm just going to run them simultaneously here since they're pretty small, as well as do the grading reveals when they're available. First is the TCG non-sports. Got a little submission here, and with SGC having a current special here in the middle of March as I'm filming this now, they have, excuse me, I believe I said that they had a TCG special. I actually meant that they have a 1980s, 70s, and 80s special. These non-sports cards fell into that. So I stand corrected, but it's $12 a card for anything in the 1970s, any sport, non-sport, TCG, anything. So I've got I guess in a matter of speaking, I have a pile of Garbage Pail Kids cards from 1985 through 87 that I'll be sending in here. They're not in particularly great condition. I'm not expecting them to gem. What I've noticed over time in selling some of these through consignment I'm working on is there are different variations and different sets that sell better than others. Anybody that's watching this that has dealt in Garbage Pail cards knows it's very obvious to them, but it wasn't to me. I've been in sports and trading cards basically my whole life and had just never had to learn anything about Garbage Pail Kids, never had any desire to. But when I had a box of a few thousand of them, and I'm told that this gentleman was in all kind of Facebook groups and acquired different cards and variations and all this stuff, and I had no idea where to start. So there's some good websites, some good informative areas on the internet where I was able to accelerate my learning a little bit. So we're going to start off here. This is from the first set. It's not particularly good shape. It's probably going to get a 6 or a 7, and that's okay. I'm just looking to basically get them graded and authenticated. It seems like anything from the 2 series that were released in 1985, if you can get them in any sort of a grade like 5 and up, they'll sell for like $30. So my thought here is I'm assuming with the shipping there and back distributed over the cards, it's going to cost me about $14 to get it graded in total. And hopefully the lower graded ones I can sell off for like $30, buy it now on eBay or a different platform. Assuming it sells on eBay, you're going to lose about $3 in fees with final value fees and the percentage sale fee, which is going to leave you with $27 minus the $14, so you're turning about a $2 or $3 card into like a $12 card, I guess. So that's the hopes here. And then of course some of these should grade a little better than others and you make a little more. So anyway, that's the one here. This is number 4 in the set all time. Those lower numbered series 1 cards are typically pretty valuable if they're not horribly damaged. This is one of the most valuable cards in the entire series, the Atom Bomb card. And as you can see, it is horribly miscut. It looks like it's trimmed almost, but it is somehow like factory cut like a parallelogram. So if you stand it on end, it actually kind of slopes to the side a little bit. And then if you were to like stand it up straight, it would be angled at the bottom. So when you put it in the top loader or you put it in the sleeve, you can see it fits like a normal card left to right, but top to bottom, you can see in the sleeve, if I can get that to show right there, you can see it's tight up here and this bunch of space over here. I'm seeing these cards basically authenticated selling for about $100. That's my hopes here. Other than the bad cut, it's in really good shape. It's pretty sharp, sticker's real nice, no peeling or anything like that. So I'm looking to get it authenticated, sell it for whatever's fair. It could even be one of those weird oddities where somebody really wants it because of the odd cut, but you can see it's the checklist version. There's no ink or anything on the back. And then a lot of these you're going to see they're going to be really sharp, almost pack fresh cards, but their centering is just not good. So I'm expecting 7s and 8s on most of these. I didn't really do a pre-grade because I don't know how to grade stickers, to be honest with you. It's just kind of, sometimes I think they look good. I used to do those old Panini stickers from the 80s, sending like the Jerry Rices or even the basketball ones in, and I just get slaughtered. So a lot of these are just pretty much the same thing, so I'm moving quick through them here. Not anything particularly awesome or valuable to show. And even if it is, I wouldn't know how to properly speak on it. I'm just not well seasoned in Garbage Pail Kids. So this one here, this Battered Brat, it's actually a variation. So the original 164B, I'll put a picture of it here. I'll slide this over and I'll put a picture up here of what the actual card is supposed to be. This is just a variation that was made, not particularly valuable. I see the raw copy selling for anywhere from $2 to $6 depending on the condition. So And then here's this, I believe this was Series 2, still Series 2. This one, I believe I threw in here just because it was well centered in good condition. I thought it would grade well, as well as these last two here. So this one, same sort of thing. And the only one from the 1987s, which those ones are really cheap. That's when like the Garbage Pail Kids started to get a little more overprinted, and they're just not the original series that people were nostalgic for. This one I think was like Series 7 or 8. You can see the numbers are in the 300s. But this one I thought would grade really well, potentially a 10. I really went through a lot of these cards. I mean, I went through thousands of these stickers, and then you try to look for centering first, and you look at the corners. Then when you go to the back, a lot of times you will see lines where the sticker was punched too deep, and then you see a lot of lines on the back. So I think, I don't even know if graders forgive that. I don't see how they wouldn't in some cases, because I don't know how else you would punch the sticker properly. But I didn't send in any of those just because I didn't want to invest $12 and get back a bunch of cards that are hard to sell raw for 50 cents and get them in grades of 5s and 6s. I mean, that would be obviously a nightmare. So those I'm actually going to put into sets and bulk lots. So here is the NFL submission. So they're, as I'm recording this, they are running a promotion for $12 for NFL cards 2010 to present. As you've seen prior to this video, I've had quite a bit of mail days from January on up to present day, getting all kinds of mid to low end cards. So here, this is, when I said in the intro I was up for 3 nights, I absolutely was. And I was going through every single football card I kind of had staged away to either review for grading or resale or whatever it was. And I was looking for candidates that would fit this submission specifically. So I'm inspecting cards, but then I'm putting them in like PSA pile, to not gradable, resell later. Or it could be something where I'm planning to bring it to a shop or show if it's like a Viking or a Timberwolf or whatever. I guess a Timberwolf wouldn't be football, but something like that. So you can see it right on the top. This is a base insert of Matt Ryan, very cheap card. I'm only sending this in the hopes of getting a 10, but I check my cards very meticulously. And if there's, on these lower end cards, if there's even the smallest thing, I don't send it. I just don't even chance it. So I'm fully expecting this to get a 10 unless I just did something egregious and overlooked something. You can see I have my little notes here that I was going to share with you. I write these in here and then I will document it onto a spreadsheet. So I have here that I think this Justin Herbert Razzle Dazzle, post it off, but my notes, they're kind of poorly written, and I write in like abbreviated stuff that like I wouldn't expect anybody else to know what it says, but it's a way I can get a lot of information in a little area. So basically, as this reads, it's a SGC 9.5 with a slight small scratch to the right of his non-throwing hand tricep. So he's got a little, if I can get it to show, it was very small, but it was like right over here somewhere. And that was enough for me to believe that I probably wouldn't PSA Gem 10. But it is a Justin Herbert. Let's see here. It's got the rookie right there. And then on the back, I noted that it had small dimples to the right of hand on the back. So it looks like there's probably going to be some like small dimples in there. I don't know if I can get them to show through the sleeve holder and the other sleeve, but they're very, very slight. Now, as I'm showing these things, they're super, super minor imperfections. I just document like anything I see that isn't perfect. So I'm basically like assuming every card's a black label, and then I start like working it backwards. It doesn't mean that some of these won't get pushed to a 10, and I actually expect some of them to. So here, I loaded this Tremaine Edmonds in upside down, which, okay. It's a Superlives auto. You may recognize this from a previous mail day. SGC 9.5. I put the corners are great, but the auto goes off the sticker. That doesn't typically affect the card grade, but you can see here at the bottom, I don't think the auto is going to probably grade a 10. SGC auto grades your autos. And I've seen in some videos where people will get a card with an auto back and they're like, oh, SGC, I forgot to grade my auto. I better reach out to them. And what you need to know is they will grade it and put a 10 on there. But if it grades less than a 10, they just don't do it. I think it's like a courtesy of like, hey, nobody wants a lower graded auto, really. So they'll give it to you to get that extra 10 on your label and really make your card look good, but they're not gonna, for free, just crap on your card. So if you have a bad auto, they won't grade it. or if there's something like that, I fully expect that to come back without an auto grade 10. It's just going to come back without an auto grade at all. This Caleb Williams card was absolutely pristine. I could find nothing wrong with it. Super sharp, back was good. Angle, what you really got to watch for, especially in modern cards, is like you can be in your light and angle like this. You'll see nothing, no dimples, no nothing. And all of a sudden you go like this and like rock it like that, and you'll start to see roller marks. And a lot of people, I believe, overlook those, especially on like mosaics and selects. I'll see people get hammered when I watch other grading reveals, and they're just completely puzzled as to why, and they're really inspecting the surface, and I don't believe it's a surface issue. I think mosaics front surface are really pretty good, and the pattern makes it kind of hard to see if there's any light scratching. But I have an absolute terrible time getting the back to be, in my mind, a gem. And I know you can send those in, and some people will push it and some graders won't. So I just don't chance it, because especially on lower end cards. But this one I'm sending in, the back corner, I had slight white on one back corner. That's really the only issue. I put that there's a small print line, not enough to keep it from scoring well, but I did put it at 9.5 just because I found something. We got a D-Hop rookie here, another card. The reason I'm sending it to SGC is mainly the price point. I think it could do well at PSA, but it doesn't make sense. It's a card you can get into for about $3 to $5. I don't picture it selling for more than 40 in like a 9 or 9.5, probably not even that much. So getting it graded at the lowest price point you can is what makes sense. So that'll be the theme in a lot of these cards. SGC 9.5, I put their slight white on the back right corner. So when you go under magnification, if you really go in, you can see there's like that kind of off-colored stippling. And when you really get in there, you can see it's just like a little white. It doesn't stick out bad. It could very well come, they could push it and give it a 10, but I just document those sort of things. This one I have is an SGC 10. This one was absolutely perfect. Front and back corners were, the stippling was like sharp all the way to the edges. I checked, it doesn't have any like pinching on any edges. I would be shocked if that one didn't grade well. But the thick cards, sometimes you just get a 9 or 9.5. They're tough. Here we have Vikings great Eric Kendricks. He's no longer with the Vikings, but he was very great for a while. I put that one of the back corners had a touch of white, so I have it at a 9.5, but this is a numbered black refractor rookie. This would be something that most people probably wouldn't grade. Being in Minnesota, I surely could move this to somebody somewhere, probably at a show. It would be something someone was looking through my cards, they would see that and go, oh, well, I don't never see graded Eric Kendricks, and they would possibly throw it in on a trade or just pay cash for it or something. So Eric Kendricks, black refractor, that one very easily could come back at 10. It just depends on how hard they go on that little white on the back corner. Jonathan Brooks, 9.5. I rated this one as well. I put on the back bottom corner, there's a touch of white. So back corners are really overlooked, but you can see it a little bit here. You really got to zoom in, but there's just a touch of it. Nothing serious. That one could gem. It really just depends on the grader and what they weight over other things. This is the Derwin James. Sorry, I haven't been pulling off all these Post-its. This is Derwin James black-white checkerboard. This is a perfect card to send to SGC. I believe this will gem, and at the low price point, I'm hoping that like you go grade it for $14 all in, basically door to door. The card I think was like $2 or $3, and should probably in a 10 sell for 40 pretty easily. So those are the types of cards I'm hoping to have in this submission. This is the same sort of card like the Caleb Williams we just like. This is a CJ Stroud. This one did not have any white, any print line, anything. Pretty much as pristine as I could find. I fully expect this one to 10. This Warren Sapp, there's a lot of writing here, but there's really not that much going on. These Panini Unparallels are tough grades sometimes. And the foil front, like any little nick shows. This Warren Sapp I picked up for really cheap off ComC. Somebody just like threw it out one day, and I was looking at new listings, and it had been out for like 30 seconds. And I'm like, a Sapp to 5 is, I think it was like $8 or something like that. And I'm like, well, that seems, especially for a gold, it just seemed too low. So I bought it up. I think if this thing can grade it, I have it as a 9 or 9.5. I don't think it'll gem. If it does, I would appreciate that. But two back corners have slight white, and then I put that you can see the outline from the Unparalleled logo in the back. So I don't know what they're going to do about that. That's why I kind of put 9 to 9.5. The corners really weren't too egregious, but I'll see if I can get that logo indentation to show. Maybe it's not going to do it through all these holders, but yeah. Oh, never mind. I was looking at the wrong spot. But you could see just, and then you could feel it too, that somebody that's looking at that, they're either going to see that as just that's how the set is, or they're going to knock it. I don't know what I'm going to get. SGC 95 on this one, but this one could 10. It was very, very clean. I put that there's a fisheye on the back top near the Cardinals logo. The back bottom had slight white on the corner. I don't think it was enough to really hurt it, but there's like a little fisheye right up here by the crest of the Cardinals logo. If I can get it to show, you can kind of see it a little bit there, just a little bit in the dimmer light above the bright light is just a little, it's not a dimple, but it's just like a weird fisheye in the print. I don't know what they're going to do with that, but it's enough to, you can see it when it's not in the holder and it's in the light. You can see it pretty easily. Cortland Sutton Optic Hollow. This kind of fits in the same realm of everything else. It's just not a superstar. It's a lower cost card, lower to grade, but you can hopefully move it before the season starts for $30, $40. I expect this to SGC 95 or 10. I have a perfect front. I mean, for a hollow, I very rarely see them where they don't even have just like that part where the shine just isn't good and it's kind of like almost looks like it just needs to be buffed. It didn't even have that. I mean, this card was sick on the front. The back, I put that there's a slight left to right roller mark. You can only see it in like the right light. So it's like it doesn't pop, but you can get it. It's just, I don't even know if I'll get it to show here because there's too much holders and shine going on, but I had to look really hard under like the right angle. So if they're not spending a lot of time really trying to dig and look for that, that one could push through and get a gem for sure. And I just messed up the order of my my cards here. I started putting them over on the other stack. Okay. Here we have a 1993 Edge. This is the first year of collectors. The Prism John Elway. Picked this one up for like $1. It was super sharp. The front's like really clean. Like if you angle it to where like the prism kind of goes away and you can see the surface a little better, some of like the ice lines look like they're scratches, but they're not. Like you just keep moving around and see that they're not, but they kind of look that way. There was just a little mark on the back to the right of his shoulder. So it was like right up here kind of by his neck or helmet. I don't know if we'll be able to see it or not, but that's one where I expect to get a 9.5 because of that, but it's so slight, somebody could just easily push it to a 10. It's really going to come down to the grader on a lot of these. But I do expect, all these 9.5s. I'm not hoping to all get 9.5s. I'll accept it, but I do fully anticipate a few will get pushed through for 10s. So we got a Jonathan Taylor Gold Reactive rookie here through Mosaic. This one had a slight nick on the back of by the Colts helmet. I think that's what I wrote, left of Colts helmet. So there must be just a slight nick. And when I put like a nick, it's not an impression and it's not a scratch. It almost is like, it looks like there was just like a tiny little scratch, like a needle went in there and just removed a little bit of the color. So like if you hold it to the light, you can see through it a little bit. It's one of those types of things. That's one where I don't know what they'll do with it, but we'll see. So here's a cheap Bryce Young. This is a Panini Contenders Rookie of the Year candidate. SGC 9.5. I put there's a slight touch of white on the back bottom right corner, which is down here. It's all black and Panthers colors, and you can see it's not bad. Like you can't see it with the naked eye. You really got to zoom in, and then when it's zoomed in, it's slight. So it's not like it's egregious. Here we got two Bryce Young. This is the Panini Contenders winning ticket. And this one had a slight touch of white on the back upper right corner. So that one was actually up here, a little touch of white. But you can see it's certainly not bad. I mean, you can really examine it with the naked eye and it's fine. Pretty cool looking cards though. I do like these winning ticket, lottery ticket looking cards. They're pretty cool, especially the basketball ones. I really like those. Same card here. This one, I just fully anticipate to get SGC 10. This one was clean all around. I found no imperfections at all. This one here, I wasn't really sure how to grade it. I don't really have a lot of it, and the card looked really good, but it's one of those, I think it was not Leaf, but wild. It's a wild card. Drew Aller, parallel, rookie auto, I guess you call it, or pre-rookie auto. He's not entering the draft this year, so I am trying to pick up on some of his cards and sit on him for a year. I think that if he has another decent year, more than likely be the #1 quarterback drafted. So I'm trying to pick up some of this stuff. You can get in these sorts of autos for like $20, $30 raw, and I'm just going to grade them and see what happens. So I didn't even really put a pre-grade here. I just put SGC dual auto, and whatever they give me, they give me. But I wouldn't send it if it was beat. It's definitely in good shape. It's probably going to be like a 9. I hope the auto gets a 10, and that would be super sick. I got a Peyton Manning. This is a short printed score parallel. So it's the short printed variation image, but then it's got the camo as well. This is an SGC 9.5. There's slight white on the bottom right corner, which is down here in the camo. It's not bad, but usually when you have the slight white on the front, they'll catch it for sure. The back, sometimes it doesn't really take from the eye appeal, and sometimes graders will let that go a little bit. But Peyton Manning, SGC 9.5, I think that one will come back, possibly even a 10. This card, Otis Anderson, I had the top left corner, just isn't perfect. I've got it sitting in here a different way, hoping that like the pressure from the toppler might make it kind of come together by the time it gets there. It wasn't like dinged or nicked, but it's just like you can kind of look at it and it just has like, under magnification, it has just like a stray piece of like fuzz. And I was kind of going after it with painter's tape. A lot of times you can get that fuzz to come off, or if you take a piece of painter's tape and it's kind of slightly slided, it kind of will stick to that fuzz and kind of roll it off without damaging the card. This one, the corner just wasn't right. It's like you look and it's not dinged and it's not round. It just looks different. Because of that, I'm putting 9.5. It could be something where they see it and it's so goofy, they just don't want to do anything with it. But this is the Rainbow Parallel Auto, and the auto's super clean. So I'm thinking that either way, it'll get a decent grade, and I'll get the free auto grade, which hopefully is a 10, and that would make it marketable. So we have Giants grade, Otis Anderson. Hoping that that card can, get, once it's graded, maybe sell for 40, 50. If it gets a good grade, it definitely sell for that. But I mean, if it comes back with like a grade 8 auto 10, I think I could still sell it for $40 and make a little bit of money. So here we have Michael Irvin. This is a Flair Showcase, or I think it was, Flair Showcase. And this is the Row Zero, which is the slightly more desirable of the parallels. I believe this one should SGC 10. And this is probably, if I'm wrong on anything on my pre-grade, it's probably going to be this, because I refuse to learn my lesson and continue to send in old Flair cards that I think are great. And they always come back 8s and 8.5s. And I don't know. I need to find somebody that, I never really see anybody on a stream, to be honest with you, that is, or I should say a video, that is really good with the Flair cards. But if I find somebody, I might just have to get like a training session, because I just, for whatever reason, I can't seem to understand how to grade a 10 in those, or even a 9 or 9.5. Like, corners look good to me, surface is good, edges on those are always good. It's got to come down to like if it was put in a holder a certain way and it's pinched or something. I don't know. I'm assuming it's like has to do with card thickness consistency or something, but I don't even know how I would measure that. Last one here, Leaf Rookies and Stars draft class. I actually like the parallels of this card. Like, this is the base version. The parallels where you get like some different colors in here and foil and stuff are pretty cool. I like the player with their jersey and the commissioner there. It's like kind of like almost like a literally like draft day sort of card. It's pretty cool. To me, it's similar to like the Panini Instant, where they get those rookie autos that always come out every year from draft day. It's pretty cool. Bryce Young here, I'm expecting a SGC 9.5. Slight white on one front corner and one back corner. So it's very slight, but it's enough to document and understand that if it doesn't come back a 10, I'm not gonna sit here later in this video and just be like bewildered by it. Like, I'm gonna understand what's going on. So that's the video, or at least the first half of it. I hope you like seeing these pre-grades and a little explanation of the process. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. In a few seconds, you're going to see the grading results come back, and we'll see how I did on these and how accurate some of this was. Hoping that we get a nice, good grading reveal, get some nice grades, and get some cards ready for the NFL draft and off season here. So we'll see you in a few seconds.
A few moments later.
And just like that, 20 days went by. So here I got the 2 submissions in front of me. See here, I'm gonna look at my notes here, give you correct data. Both orders were received by SGC on March 19th. 1970s, 80s special was marked graded on 4/11, but it sat in post for a long time. Usually they ship like right away. For every reason, that one sat there for like 3 or 4 days. The NFL special was marked completed on 4/15. The 1970-80 special hit my PO box on April 18th, and then the day after, on the 19th, the NFL hit. So while it was there from received to grading, it was about 19 business days. Not too bad. It's right in line with what they're saying right now, 15 to 20 days. It felt so much longer than the last submission, but we're just gonna rip into it here. Stand by for just a second while I open these up. All right, and we're back. We're gonna start off with the 1970s and 80s special. Now these were graded at $12 a card, and not expecting any 10s out of these whatsoever. It was mostly just to get the series 1 and 2 Garbage Pail Kids that were in decent shape slabbed. So I'm expecting anything from like 2s to 7s, probably almost exclusively. When we get to the Atom Bomb card, we're hoping that that card is just authenticated. I don't see anything goofy in here. Didn't receive any calls or anything from customer service, so I'm pretty much assuming it was slabbed authentic, possibly given a grade. So let's just hop into it. First one here. Oh wow. Oh yeah, this was the one. I think it was like a Series 8 that I was sending in that I thought had a shot at gemming. So this is the, yeah, it's a Series 8 on the tag there. So I got a 9.5. That's pretty good. I'm not an expert at grading these at all, so I'll take it. Let's see here. We've got, okay, so an 8.5. That's pretty good. This is a Series 2. These had all sharp edges, just had centering issues was mostly the deal with the ones that I'd sent in. So another 8.5 on the Matte Rat. That's actually not bad. 8s and 8.5s I'm pretty happy with. I was expecting a lot lower, so they are clean and sharp. They're just, okay, so this one I was expecting somewhat of a low grade, but not that low of a grade. I think this one, I'm trying to kind of peek from the back. I thought, yeah, so if you can kind of see, I'll try to get it to reflect correctly here without too much glare, but where the sticker is punched here, it went through deep and it kind of cut the card, and I was wondering how they would grade that. There you can see it a little bit there, so you can see that fold up in here, and that evidently is a negative for those. I didn't know if it was considered just a factory thing or if they dinged you on those. Evidently they ding you hard for that. So Prickly Rick got a 9. Wow. So far I'm very pleased with this order. This is much better than I was expecting. Another 9, and this is stuff I hopefully can make good money on. I was just hoping to make a few. Wow, 9.5 on Crack Jack. So, and you can see the centering is not good here. So that thing could have gemmed if the centering was a little better. 8.5 on Harry Gary. We got a checklist here. Well, no Atom Bomb when we see him because he's just super crooked. It's an 8. So we really haven't even got any 7s. I was expecting everything to be like 3 to 7. So this is surprisingly good. 9.5. Wow. So some of these cards might actually pull a good chunk. I was not expecting this whatsoever. I probably was too aggressive, I guess, in grading these. I could have sent a lot of softer cards to grade. Here's Atom Bomb. We can see that he is horribly miscut and cut like a parallelogram, as we saw in the preview. You can see there's still a hefty gap up here. They got some sort of tux to fit him, but it's not good. We'll see if he got a grade. He was slabbed authentic, just says miscut. I do like that it says miscut and not like altered or trimmed or anything. So that's nice. Hopefully that oddity will be able to sell in some way. That card, it seems like just any authentic version of it, no matter how beat up it is, sells for like $100. So that might be a nice one, getting it slabbed authentic and graded a miscut, hopefully, over being altered or anything like that. So here's the last one. This was, and a 3 is about right for this one. This one was really soft. This is a Series 1 glossy, and the glossies are more rare in this Series 1. So any glossy version I had, I was going to send in and just see. The sticker is actually not in bad shape. It's just the edges in the corners. So far, really, really pleased with that order. No complaints. I can't really say anything about whether it matched my pre-grades or not because I didn't have any. I didn't know. I was just basically sending it in to add a little value to those cards, and I think I achieved that. So here, we've got the NFL special, and we saw the pre-grades, And we'll just rip right through these now, and then after I'm done, I'll put a screen share up or just some stats on how I did in regards to what my total cost per card was, as well as how accurate was the pre-grading. So we will jump into the first one here. This is one of the many Bryce Youngs, and just did get this order back before the draft, which is nice. Bryce Young, this one did get a 10, and this I believe was pre-graded at a 10 or a 9.5. For those of you that just watched the video, you're probably annoyed that this happened literally 5 minutes ago, but to me it happened like a month ago. So Michael Irvin, here's the flare, my nemesis. I pre-graded at a 10. I found no flaws. I have no idea what to expect. I can't grade these cards to save myself. An 8.5.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Doesn't shock me. So that's going to be one that I was wrong on. Probably break even at best. There's got to be just, I don't know, I needed to get trained. So Otis Anderson, this one I was sending in to get the dual grade with the auto 10. The card I had, I think I had it a 9 or 9.5. So, and we did get the auto 10, which is what I was going for, and then the 9. So I really like, I've been, I won't say critical, but the tux is just not my thing, but I do like the black and white label. I think it presents really well, and I really think that they have the best dual auto label. The 1010 looks really good. I think they've got the best in the business. That's why I send my autos there, and they're the most reasonable, they're most reasonable ones to grade, as far as like if they're already guaranteed by, let's say, Panini or Topps or whatever, they don't really need to authenticate it so much. They just need to grade it, which is nice. So here we've got the Peyton Manning. This was the camo short print. This one I had at a 9.5. It just had one corner that wasn't perfect, but we'll see how he did. And Peyton got a 10, so they did push that through. The corner wasn't bad. It's one of those where you look at it and it's just like the other ones are just sharper. So I didn't know if that was going to be something that was going to be held against me or not. Evidently, they pushed that one through, so that's nice. This is the Jonathan Brooks. This is the Mosaic. I think it was the red choice or the red and green choice. This was pre-graded at a 9.5, I believe. And that got the 10, so that's nice. We'll have to see how that one goes, if he's going to be starting or if he comes back from his injury or how he even plays, but very little into that card. I think with the grading and the cost of the card, it was maybe $15, so hopefully I can get that back. Bryce Young, another one. This was it graded a 10. I think this one I actually pre-graded a 10, so that one did as it should. Here's the second one. I think the second one I also had at a 9.5 or a 10. One of them was better than the other, but it doesn't matter. They both got 10, so that's awesome. So far, the submission's going really good. Here is another Bryce Young. This is one of the cheap, just contender inserts. This one got a 9.5, and I think that's what I had for this one. I know I had like 2 of his contenders marked at 9.5 and 2 at 10, I believe, and 9.5 is spot on. You'd love to see them all get pushed to 10, but let's be realistic. Jonathan Taylor, this one is the reactive gold Mosaic. This one I had at a 9.5. It just had one corner on the back that was just not perfect, and it did have like slight roller marks, so I don't know what they're going to do with that. And 9.5, that's exactly what I was thinking. There's enough going on to where it's just not perfect. This is the John Elway 93 Prism. This card looked like immaculate to me, but when you get into 30-year-old cards, you just never know. I think I had this at a 9.5, and it got a 9, so it's half grade off. I'm sure there's something in there. It was really tough for me to decipher where the scratches possibly could have been, but otherwise the card was really clean, really centered. It just is what it is. I still think that card in a 9's got to be super low pop. You just don't see it ever. Cortland Sutton, this was the Optic Hollow. This one I had pre-graded at, I believe, a 9.5 or a 10. The card was pretty much spotless. You don't see hollows that clean very often. And look at the shine, really nice. That one got a 10. Larry Fitzgerald, this is the Select Silver. This one I had at a 9.5. It has 4 black corners, and one of them was just a little not ideal. And 9.5 is what it got. So Fitzgerald with a 9.5. Warren Sapp, I had pre-graded at a 9 to a 9.5. This was the Panini Unparalleled Gold, serial number to 5. Picked this one up for like $8 off of ComC. and it did get the 9.5. So that's a really nice card. It's gonna be tough for any of the other 4 to grade higher than that. CJ Stroud, this was the Pink Tracks Goodwin Champions, serial number to 299, I think, or is it 399? 299. Okay. And this card was really clean, but I think I had this one pre-graded at a 9.5. I think there was a, if I remember right, a CJ Stroud and so he got a 10. And I was going to say, I think a Caleb Williams as well, and they're both really clean. So Stroud on the 10. Derwin James, this is the Prism Checkerboard. This card was like Black Label to me. I would be stunned if this wasn't a 10, especially with the other 10s we got. This card was super, super clean. And it got a 10. So that's a nice little sneaky pickup for a Derwin collector. I got that card, I think, for $2 or $3 and graded it for 12 plus shipping. I mean, I probably ended it for about 16 bucks all in, basically, from purchasing the card, getting it to my home, sending it to get graded, getting it back. Not bad at all. Eric Hendricks, this is the Black Refractor Rookie. Really low-end card, but it was clean. I saw it floating out there for like $1, picked it up, and figured I'd be able to sell this in Minnesota all day long. I had this pre-graded at a 9.5. It was a lot of dark stuff on the back, and it was close, but just not Gem 10. And 9.5 is about right, but good-looking card there for Mr. Kendricks. Here's Caleb Williams on the Pink Tracks. This is along the lines of the CJ Stroud. And a 9. So I must have goofed up on something here. I think I had this at a 9.5, but yeah. Not gonna hit them all. Just a little bit off, but Tremaine Edmonds, this is a Superlatives auto. This one I was sending in, I don't think it'll have the auto grade on there because this is one where the auto went off the sticker, but I did want to send this in. It was serial number to 10, I believe. Yeah, we'll see. So we got the 9.5 there with the auto. You can see there is no auto grade, and it's because I believe it was, where did it go off the sticker? Over here. Just went off the sticker a little bit. Not ideal. It's not a ton, but it's enough to not grade a 10. So Justin Herbert. This was the Razzle Dazzle Rookie. This card could be sneaky. It goes for about $15, $20 raw, and that's roughly what I picked it up for. I had it at a 9.5. It was really close. It just had a little mark in the back over here. So but it did pull the 10, so that is awesome. They gave me a little leniency on the back. It's a good-looking card, and that card should be good between draft time and the startup of the season. Matt Ryan. This is a old Prism insert. This card could maybe make its money back in a 10. I mean, this card is super low end. I don't even know why I sent it in. I think it was just one of those cards that was so clean and I was holding on to for a little bit, just waiting for the right deal. You're not going to get a better NFL deal than $12 a card, so this one has to be a 10 for there to be a prayer of making anything. So we did. It is a base insert, so I mean, it is as low end football as you get. So I had 2 of these D-hops in here. I'm not sure which parallel this is. One I had pre-graded at a 10, one I had pre-graded at a 9.5. They're thick cards, so anything could happen. And this is a sepia, and this is the one I had pre-graded at a 10, so I must have goofed up on something. I'm not sure what, and that does scare me a little bit for the, I think it was a purple or an emerald. I don't remember what the other one was, but this one got a 9. Not horrible. I mean, it's still a decent card, serial number to 75, but I definitely wouldn't send that one unless I was thinking of getting a 9.5 or better. Here is the other D-hop. This one is the purple, serial number to 99. This one did get the 9.5, so this one hit the pre-grade. That one, I don't know. I had to have missed something. I'm not really sure what. That one, I had like 4 or 5 of those thick D-hops, different grades and whatnot, and those were the 2 that were like by far the best. So here's the last one, Drew Aller. He's a prospect that I am probably going to just hold for 8 to 10 months, preparing to pick up his autos and short printed cards and whatnot. Think that he'll be among the top draft or the top quarterbacks in next year's draft. So he's not a long-term hold, but just somebody that I'm going to put a little money into and then just hope I'm right. So this was a wild card. I think it was serial number to 7 or sticker auto. I think the card, I just put like a question mark on the pre-grade. I don't really know wild card that well. It looked okay, but I don't think it's a gem. I really wanted to get the dual grade with an auto 10. The auto looked really good. I picked the card up, I think it was about 26 bucks. And there we go. So we got the 9 with the auto 10. It's exactly what I was hoping for. It's a good looking card. You can see here the sticker auto down here, but it is nice and clean. So Pretty pleased with that. Get the stats up here as I give my final thoughts, but if we go through the pre-grades, we'll see that I was spot on most of them. You can see the pale green are the ones that were as expected. The dark greens are the ones that actually graded above what I thought. The yellows were about a half grade below what I thought, and the reds were the ones where I was just at least a grade or more wrong. That's going to be the flare and then the and then the D-hop. So overall, the submission was really good. You can see there's a lot of green there, and that's a good sign. That means that I'm doing the right thing in pre-grading my cards and kind of in the same understanding of the graders at SGC. It also shows that SGC is very, very consistent. I've sent submissions off to them 2 at a time twice now. So this is actually my 3rd and 4th submission that I've done with them, and I'm very pleased across the board with them. We'll continue to use them there. I'm going to continue building them into my processes, I guess you would say. They have a good fit for these sort of cards, and they're quick and accurate, and that is great. Like when you're playing around with low-end cards and you don't have the freedom to just continue to resubmit until you get the grade you think it should have, or whatever you want to call it. So you need it to be right the first time, and they've done that so far. I can't really say I've been criminally undergraded on any cards that I've had with them. So tip of the cap to them. They've done a great job. Kind of a shame their resale isn't a little better than it is, because they have a good product. But that's another day, another time there. So here's the SGC submission. Let me know your thoughts. So if you've ever tried them, or if you will be trying them, and then what were some of your favorite cards in the submission? Did you, or even worse, even though I know the answer is probably the Matt Ryan card, which card would you absolutely not send? I'll get these cards up listed here shortly after the video is posted and see if I can't sell through them. And then down the line, I'll do a follow-up video and let you know how much I made. I've had a few questions over the weeks in regards to my other SGC submissions on do I think I can make money, and I've already pretty much been profitable on them. So I do want to wait until I sell through enough of them, and then I will do a follow-up video and show you guys exactly what some of them sold for, and how profitable it is potentially, and all that good stuff. So if you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. Anything you can do to help the channel out would be wonderful. And until next time, we'll see you.